South Korea's financial watchdogs and law enforcement agencies conducted an unexpected raid on HYBE's headquarters in Seoul. The initial spark for this probe was an allegation that a former employee misused confidential information to carry out insider trading involving shares of YG Plus, a company in which HYBE holds investments. HYBE quickly responded by clarifying that the employee in question was no longer affiliated with the company. However, as investigators dug deeper, the spotlight expanded to include the company's top leadership, most notably Bang Si Hyuk himself. At the core of this investigation are claims that Bang Si Hyuk may have intentionally misled early investors regarding HYBE's plans for going public. In 2019, it is reported that Bang assured shareholders there were no immediate plans to launch an initial public offering, IPO. This assurance influenced many investors to sell their shares at relatively low prices, under the belief that HYBE would remain a private company for the near future. Yet, behind closed doors, preparations for the IPO were already underway. Internal documents and company activities suggest that the public statements did not reflect the true status of the company's IPO plans. This discrepancy has raised serious questions about whether Bang Si Hyuk deliberately provided false information to manipulate the market. Adding another layer to the controversy, certain private equity firms, believed to have close ties to Bang, purchased large blocks of HYBE shares from early investors at discounted rates. When HYBE went public in October 2020, the stock price surged dramatically on the first day of trading. This rapid increase allowed these private equity firms and insiders to reap substantial profits, while the early investors who sold their shares missed out on significant financial gains. Furthermore, reports have surfaced about undisclosed profit-sharing agreements involving Bang Si Hyuk. Bang was entitled to receive a share of the profits if the IPO was successful, according to these reports. Conversely, if the IPO had failed, he was obligated to buy back the shares from the private equity firms. These arrangements were never disclosed to financial regulators, raising concerns about violations of securities disclosure laws. Following these revelations, South Korea's Financial Supervisory Service, FSS, and the police have intensified their investigation. Bang Si Hyuk is now under formal scrutiny, facing allegations related to fraud, insider trading, and market manipulation. The stakes are high. If convicted, Bang may be subject to hefty penalties and potentially imprisonment, considering the seriousness of the charges. Meanwhile, several HYBE executives have resigned in the wake of the scandal, including the former chief financial officer, who stepped down shortly after the investigation became public. These departures have fueled speculation about what insiders knew and when. While the investigation primarily targets corporate governance and financial misconduct, the fallout could impact HYBE's biggest asset, BTS. Although the members of BTS are not involved in any wrongdoing, their close association with HYBE means their reputation could be affected. Supporters and onlookers are concerned that this controversy could cast a shadow over BTS's upcoming activities, especially their highly awaited return following military service. Financially, BTS members reportedly hold shares in HYBE. If the company's stock price suffers due to the investigation, it could negatively affect their personal wealth despite their non-involvement in the alleged fraud. The public has reacted strongly to the news, with many calling for transparency and accountability from HYBE's leadership. Former employees have come forward with claims that they were pressured to give up stock options before the IPO or were misled about the company's strategic direction. There are also rumors of widespread insider trading within HYBE, particularly around the time BTS announced their military enlistments. This scandal has sparked a broader conversation about corporate ethics and transparency within the fast-growing K-pop industry, which has become a multi-billion-dollar global business. As the investigation continues, HYBE has maintained a cautious stance, emphasizing cooperation with authorities while denying any wrongdoing by Bang Si Hyuk or other executives. The coming months will be critical. The outcome could lead to major legal consequences, corporate restructuring, and potentially forced changes in how K-pop companies manage their public offerings and investor relations. For fans, investors, and industry watchers, it's a tense period of waiting and watching as more information comes to light. We will keep you updated as new developments emerge. What are your thoughts on this scandal? How do you think it will affect HYBE, BTS, and the K-pop industry as a whole? Share your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.